Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Rob, and if this is your first time here, welcome. Nice to meet you, and thanks for stopping by. So yeah, today's video, I want to talk about walk and talk videos and what I learned doing one yesterday. I actually made two yesterday. One turned out pretty good, the other one not so much, but I uploaded it anyways. Actually, it's not uploaded yet, but well, it is uploaded. It's going to be posted tomorrow. I want to tell you some things that I learned while doing that. Usually my videos are made in my office, and that's a controlled environment. You know, the lighting, I control where the lighting is, and the camera, set the camera settings, and it's all good. Nothing changes. I have blackout curtains over the windows so no extra light gets in, and no wind. Hopefully the wind noise here isn't too bad. I'm just using these AirPods, the mic in the AirPods. But yeah, so when I did the walk and talk video outside, went for a walk on the trail and made a video while holding my phone, I learned some things. The first thing I learned, actually it wasn't the first thing, but I found out when I got home, my video was out of focus. And that sucks. It was actually the first video I made of the two yesterday, and it wasn't until I got home from making those two videos that I realized, damn, the video's out of focus. Why'd that happen? So I did some research, and it turns out, so I'm using an iPhone 14 Pro Max as my phone. It's a great phone, great picture, but the problem is when I hold, so right now I'm holding it with my left hand. When I hold it with my right hand, because I want to keep my hand away from the lens, I kind of hold it backwards a bit, I guess, and what happened is my palm touched the screen. And on this phone, when you touch the screen, you bring up the option to then press and hold a location to lock the focus. Well, I must have done that and locked the focus on my background, and then I talked for 15 minutes making a video, not knowing the whole time that I was out of focus. So this video is going to get posted after that one. So yeah, what was that video even about? I can't remember, but if you've seen that video, that's what happened. That's why the video was kind of bad. So that's the first thing I learned, or the last thing I learned. Something else I learned, I've written down some notes here. Yeah, so in the second video that I made, which turned out well, the picture was fine, I walked fairly briskly. Actually, I was walking after I had gone for a run, and it was only, I don't know, 5-10 minutes after the run stopped, so my heart rate was still up. But then I chose to walk and then walk up a hill, fairly steep hill, because it's a nice view at the top of that hill. And I'll leave a link to that video from that vantage point so you can see what the view was. Anyways, if you look at it, you might think that's not really a hill. I mean, for Nova Scotia, it's a pretty big hill. We don't have mountains really here. But anyways, my point is, walked up this hill with an already elevated heart rate, and I kept losing my breath. I was winded. And yeah, so what I learned is maybe give a little more time to calm down from a run before I jump into making a video. And also, maybe don't walk up hills while you're making a video, or maybe not as fast as I did. And just generally slow down. Like if you want to make a walk and talk video, I suggest you just like slow down. You don't have to walk fast. It's not a race. It is cool for the viewers to see the surroundings. Like this is a gorgeous place I'm sitting here. I'm biased. I mean, I'm from here, but I'm right out on a point here in St. Margaret's Bay. Yeah, I love showing off where I'm from, and a lot of people like to see that. So walk and talk videos are great for that reason. Your audience gets to see where you are, and it may be totally different from looking from where they're from, and if that's the case, then it's nice to see. So anyways, if you want to make videos like that, just keep that in mind. Maybe don't walk as fast as you can. And try to remain calm when walking. Okay, so that's the second point. A third one I already talked about, show off your surroundings. That's the whole point. It's to get out of the office, give your audience a different look, just something different to look at while you're giving your messages, making your videos. It's great to have a different look, a different, what am I trying to say? Different surroundings, just a different setting, right? It's nice to switch things up instead of having all of your videos always filmed in the same place, which, you know, is nice. It's nice to be able to have a setup where you can make videos, you know, the same way all the time. It lessens the setup headaches, I guess, because when you do go outside and make videos, you have to be cognizant, aware of other things, and that actually brings me to another point, is the sun. When you're filming outside, try to make sure the sun is kind of on your face. Well, if it's right on your face, you're going to be squinting and people can't really see your eyes anyways. But if you are, stand up here, if you have the sun to your back, then you're going to be in the shadow, right? So my face is probably looking dark right now because the sun is behind me. Whereas if I turn around like this and I have the sun, you know, right now I'm directly into the sun, but I have to squint because of that. But maybe if it's off to the side, like 45 degrees like this, might be ideal. Or 45 degrees the other way, like this, which is kind of how I was sitting. So be aware where the sun is, and also the time of day too. Like right now it's around 3:30 in the afternoon, so the sun is still pretty high. And it's, what is it? It's mid-September, so I'm in the northern hemisphere, and so the sun is about halfway to winter, if that makes sense. So it's starting to get lower in the sky. It's about halfway down to as low as it's going to get. If you live on the equator, then it may not be as big a difference for you. The sun is usually going to be pretty high anyways all the time. But if you live in a northern climate or a southern climate, down in the southern hemisphere, Australia or South America, like South America, then that's the thing. Like when the sun is, so in North America, when it's winter time, the sun's going to be lower in the sky. And okay, I'm going to hold with my other hand now. I'm going to try not to touch the screen. When the sun is lower in the sky, it's easier to get it shining on your face. If it's too high, you're going to have lots of shadows. So noontime typically isn't the best time to film. If you can avoid it, it's better to have the sun a little bit lower. But again, if you're in the northern hemisphere, then the sun's going to be lower at all times during the day. Best in the early morning or late evening. Not late evening, but you still want some sun. So anyway, so consider that. And what do I got next? Framing yourself. So the second video I made yesterday when I was walking up the hill, a good chunk of that video had the camera was kind of pointed down here, and you can only see my mouth for some of it, and it's just kind of pointed at my chest. That's something you just have to kind of get used to, is where to point your camera, and that it's a matter of getting used to your camera, your phone, or whatever you're using. So stay in there. So the camera I'm using on my phone is the rear-facing camera. I'm not using the selfie camera. If I was using the selfie camera, it's not as good quality, okay? Not only that, but then I would also be tempted probably to look at my face in the camera, which is not where the lens is. On the selfie camera, on an iPhone anyways, the lens is way over to one edge, right? So I'd be looking in the middle of my phone at myself, and the final video would have me not looking into the lens. So you don't want that. But the bigger reason is the fact that this rear-facing camera is a better camera on this phone anyways, on the iPhone 14, and most relatively new cameras. I believe the rear-facing camera, on most relatively new phones, the rear-facing camera is typically much better, higher quality. So, and I'm filming this in 4K, 30 frames per second. I'm not even sure if my selfie camera does 4K. I think it might, but still the quality isn't as good. So keep that in mind. Do some practice. Practice framing yourself. I sat here and made sure I was in frame a couple times. Did some test videos so that I know where to hold the camera. And it's going to be different every time you go outside if you go to different locations, right? So I'm going to switch back. I want to check my... Okay, good. I don't have autofocus on. I just want to make sure I didn't touch the film or the screen. Yeah, the last thing I have that I just learned is my phone has internal stabilization. I didn't even know that. It was on by default. So it's called, for the iPhone, it's called enhanced stabilization mode. And I have that on because people were asking me today in the comments for one of the videos I made yesterday, what do you use to keep your camera so still? Like, are you using a gimbal or software to, I'm holding it with my hand. I'm not using a gimbal. But I kind of looked into it and said, but yeah, no, it is quite sturdy, especially even when I was walking. And it turns out I have the internal enhanced stabilization on. So that really helps. If your phone can do that, that'll help, especially if you're moving. It doesn't matter as much right now because I'm sitting down. But if I was up and walking around, it's a big help. If your phone doesn't have that, then you can look at getting something like a mobile phone, a gimbal, like the DJI has one. What's it called? Not the Osmo, the OM5, I think it's called. I have an older one. But yeah, have a look at that, and that might be another way you can get stabilization into your phone. I just turned, these granite rocks are hard, and butt gets kind of sore sitting on them for too long. So anyways, that's it. That's what I learned making the videos yesterday. I hope you find these useful. If you have any other suggestions that you want to add, then drop a comment below and let me know what you've learned maybe when trying to make videos like this, and what's helped you out. Perhaps you can help some other people out as well. So I hope this helped. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.